We voted Labour, so why have we still got austerity? That's what these protesters have come to confront the government about.
Money shouldn't be going towards funding wars, to defending us. It needs to go into education. It needs to go into the public sector. That's much more important.
Of course we have to defend ourselves. Of course we have to do that. But we have to do that wisely, and we can't make these cuts on the backs of working people.
But a chance to shift the narrative is coming. With the spending review this week, the Chancellor will set out her priorities for the Parliament.
Save our NHS! Save our NHS!
Health is expected to be top of the agenda. But will more cash make much difference? The NHS is set to receive an extra $30 billion over the next 3 years, a rise of 2.8%, similar to current levels of investment. But much of that extra money will be absorbed by inflation and increasing demand worsened by an increasingly sick and elderly population.
The NHS is working in crumbling buildings with outdated equipment. So even if you're increasing revenue spending, that's day-to-day spending, unless you invest in things like buildings and equipment, it's going to be tough. The second is in wider services that shape our health, things like social care, public health, education, housing. A long-term strategy for improving health would prioritise those things.
Defence will also get a boost, as global instability and pressure from the US has made it a spending priority. Good news for the Defence Secretary, John Healey, but some of his cabinet colleagues are not as happy.
They've got a lot to say here, but are they listening across the road in number 10 ahead of another defining moment, a spending review, where of course there will be winners but also losers. With extra investment comes cuts. So once again, this Prime Minister is going to have to make tough choices on public spending, and not everyone agrees with his priorities.
In some ways, it may be worse than the Tory austerity, but it's very important that we call it austerity because that is what it is, and ordinary people and the public services will suffer.
This is the sound of anger and disappointment. The government response will come on Wednesday, but with limited cash, will it be enough to silence the growing dissent? Liz Bates, Sky News, Westminster.